We're back, baby. It's been a long time coming, Radio Griff. We're like halfway through the season. Can you flip and believe it?
I know already, right? What's on your shirt, though? Who cares about football? What's on your shirt?
It's bye week vibe, baby. This is the Eagles bye week. So I got a new attitude, Griff. I realized this last week that maybe I've been a bit too Negadelphia on this show. I've been down on my birds. They came out and they proved me wrong. And I have a big question for you, and I'm going to ask you later on in the show, but it has a lot to do with what you think I should do moving forward. Because as you know, Griffin, everything that fans do has a direct correlation to the outcome on the field.
True.
Indeed. And now we are in week 9, and week 8 was really, really good to yours truly, Griff. I went 8-5, and well, you went 6-7, but it's a new week. It's a new day. I'm not here to gloat or continue talking about how I got more games right than you last week, because I did, but I'm not going to continue to dwell on that. I'm really not going to do that. It's just that, just because I won 8 of my picks to your 6, I don't want to spend any more time talking about that.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Bears, Bengals, Sunday. Again, no 9 o'clock game. I got to tell you, I feel like maybe I am better off paying attention in church after all.
Well, I think they return next week, right? Don't we get some more international games starting next week, I believe?
I sure hope so, because now we're going to be in like part 4 or 5 of a series, and they're going to spend the first 15 minutes singing and recapping anyway. So nobody wants to smell my morning breath. Nobody wants to hear me sing. I'll do that in the car, but you will hear me in traffic if you ride down 92 and up here in Woodstock and Holly Springs. But enough about me and my travel habits, Griff. This game is a doozy for the Vikings, because here you are again. Wentz playing last week with a torn labrum, apparently. His arm's like being held by this, what looks like a cast, when you have like a cast that's like keeping your arm up when you're in Seoul. That's what it looked like. And he was struggle busting, man. And they're playing Detroit, and Detroit looks really good right now, sitting at 5-2. Any hope for a Minnesota Miracle here? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think so. They got McCarthy back. I think the Lions, man, I've admitted it every week. I really underestimated them this year. I thought they would take a step backwards, losing their coordinators. But they haven't. They're once again at the top of the class of the NFC, and I think they will take care of business against the Vikings this week.
So it is confirmed McCarthy's back, huh?
That's what my sources are saying.
Sources, inside sources at the Griff compound on the outskirts of Gwinnett County, Gobblerville. Yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit at home, too. Why not? Panthers, Packers. This seems like a no-brainer, right? Obviously, the Packers are going to win. But this could be, as you've said before, a trap game, because the Panthers stink on the road. They're great at home. They just weren't great last week. Wait, we'll talk about that here in a minute. Or we can talk about it now. Hey, how wrong was I about that pick, Griff? Because I predicted the Panthers to do swimmingly well against Buffalo and the Josh Allenites. And
yeah, you overthought that one. That was a silly pick by you. Not as silly as the shirt you're wearing, but it was still pretty silly. Yeah, the Packers are going to roll this week.
Yeah, I'll take the Pack at home. 5-1-1. That is a darn good best record in the conference. Yeah, Packers going to win that game at home. The Broncos got a huge win over the Cowboys last week, and the Texans, who, dare I say, shocked the world and beat one of the best teams of all time, in the words of Radio Griff, the San Francisco 49ers. First of all, thoughts on that game from last week?
All the greats have their down days. You can't be perfect. There's only been one perfect team ever, right? The fact that the Niners have done as well as they have, considering all the injuries, we'll take it. It was kind of unfair by Globalist Goodell to schedule that game for the Niners. They were having to play in Houston, traveling from the West Coast. I'm not sure why that's not a 4 o'clock start. Kind of silly. So, everything was stacked against them. They lost. They'll be fine in the long run. They'll get back on track this week. The Broncos will win this game. The Texans, everything went like just right for them last week, right? Like everything just they caught the Niners on a down week. Things went perfectly for them. I don't think they're going to go perfectly 2 weeks in a row. I like the Broncos. I think things are starting to shake out kind of how we expected. We're seeing the Broncos finally get their act together. We're seeing the Ravens, they're starting to get their act together. It's like the same teams that we thought would be there are going to be there. We all kind of freak out there for a second early in the season, but it's shaking out the way it should.
Yeah, and to your point, some of these matchups do look kind of lopsided. We're seeing a lot of above 500 teams going against those sub 500 teams. And at this point, you kind of know who they are, to your point. And this is one of those games, Griff. I, too, am going to go with Denver on the road. Falcons and Patriots. Listen, somehow Raheem Morris survived. You called it into question, and there's a lot of smoke on social media this week. And rightfully so. How do you lose? It wasn't even a close game. Like, how do you lose that bad to Miami? It was terrible.
Yeah, it's a total dumpster fire there. I mean, it starts at the very top. It starts at the top with ownership. It sounds like Rich McKay, the guy who's kind of running things behind the scenes, Arthur Blank's right-hand man, he might be really the one to blame there. But again, that starts with Arthur. Arthur picked Rich McKay. It's just, it's a trickle-down effect. They're a total train wreck. You've got Kirk Cousins saying he wants to be traded. Penix, is he a good quarterback? We don't know. Their offensive coordinator's a mess. Raheem Morris is not a leader of men. He just isn't. And meanwhile, they're facing a coach they interviewed and didn't hire in Mike Vrabel. Maybe he turned them down. We don't know. But the Patriots, they look like they're back on track, right? I mean, they could be in the mix in the AFC if certain balls go their way come playoff time. Could we see them in the AFC Championship against a Chiefs or against the Ravens or someone else? I mean, it wouldn't shock me, right? It wouldn't be the most shocking thing at this point. And I think the Patriots take care of business against the Falcons this week. The Falcons are done. They are done. It's over.
I mean, if they were playing a lesser team, I would say this is a total bounce back game. But even starting Cousins last week, they didn't look like, okay, now we can do stuff now. And people were making reels. They play the same 4 plays a game. And even Falcons fans agree. It's not like they're out there disagreeing with the smoke. It's all like, okay, yeah, you guys are right. It's terrible. Fire them all. And this is good. This might be the game if they lose in style like they did last week. And I saw this stat about Drake May. He's like the first person to throw for over 200 yards and 3 touchdowns for like 4 consecutive games. It's just like, I don't know. First of all, thank you, AI, for generating all this amazing insight that I'll forget in 10 seconds. But it just shows you. And I heard this interview he did with Gronk last Sunday, and he was talking about, you know, what does it feel like to play in the shadow of Tom Brady, to play in the shadow of the GOAT? And he's just like, man, honestly, I don't make that comparison. I'm myself out here and I have my own goals and I just don't think about it like that. And it shows. He's not playing nervous. He's not like, oh, I have to do. And he's not captain check down either like Tom Brady was. Let's be honest. Tom Brady was the captain of 1 progression, 2 progression, 3 progression, dump. But it worked because he had that flow and chemistry with his offensive line and his receivers and halfbacks. I'm getting off track here, Griff. But this is what these kinds of games do to me. And you're right. I think Vrabel probably turned him down. You know, after you get run out of a place like Tennessee, you want to get out of the South. Get out of the South. Go up north to where it's cold. West football weather, baby. Football weather. I want to see it. Let's see it. And we're going to see some of that because we're going to be in the month of November. And it's a tidbit chilly up there in New England. I'm going to take the Patriots. I'm going to say 20 points or more. 20 points or more. This is going to be a blowout. Falcons are exposed. Yeah. Stick a fork in them. Stick a fork in the Falcon. Another team, we talked about them earlier. The Giants, they just got absolutely blasted by Philadelphia. Again, no more Negadelphia for yours truly. I've turned over a new leaf. It's the bye week. I'm on vacation. Don't hassle me. I'm a local, okay? But your Niners are on the road, sitting pretty at 5-3. Still sitting good, right? I mean, LA looks really good in the NFC West.
Bounce back week for the Niners. The Giants, I mean, we kind of all saw that coming, right? The Scadaboo injury. It's like we've all watched football long enough to just know. what's that, slow motion car wreck type of situation, right? We just knew it was going to happen. It's unfortunate that it did happen, but just the way he plays football, you know that guy's going to get hurt at some point. And I think that they're going to be without some of their mojo now. Now, I will say the Niners traditionally have had trouble with quarterbacks like Dart, who can kind of move around, run around, make things happen. Even if as good as their defense has been at times, they have trouble with guys like that. So it wouldn't shock me, to see the Giants upset. But I think this is a different Niners team. I think last year's Niners team loses this game. This year's Niners team was solid back in the mix. With some of the adversity that they've been through, I think they believe in Mac Jones. They'll bounce back this week and they'll take care of business against the Giants.
Is Purdy back?
No.
I'm going to take the Giants at home.
Okay, you do that.
I will. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. Colts 7-1. Gosh, they look so good week to week. Steelers, not looking too good. Took the L last week, if I'm not mistaken, and you got to be a little bit concerned because I think that if they lose this game, they're in trouble. They are in trouble in River City, or Three Rivers City, or something like that. I'm not sure about rivers. Bodies of water confuse me. How many oceans are there, by the way?
I think it changes every year, right?
Yes, the names of bodies of water change, from gulfs of, Okay, but this game, Indianapolis on the road. 7-1 against 4-3. Don't overthink it. Like Griff said, I overthought the whole Carolina thing. They're at home. They're undefeated at home. We got to play the numbers. But this is clearly a Colts victory. What say you?
I think I'll take your advice and not overthink it, but there's a part of me. No, I'm going to overthink it. The Steelers are going to win this game. There's been some chatter this week. For the first time in a long time, the Steelers are traditionally, they don't make hasty moves, right, with their coaches. They've had like 3 coaches in the past 100 years. But for the first time, there was a report that came out in Pittsburgh that Pittsburgh ownership might be ready to move on from Tomlin. They're kind of questioning his lack of playoff wins over the past few years. So is the trouble in paradise? I think for a guy like Tomlin, though, that motivates him, right? He's got that chip on his shoulder. He's going to be like, all right, you want to run me out of here? I'll show you. I'll go beat the best team in the AFC this year. And I think he's going to do it. And he's following up with Aaron Rodgers, the biggest chip on the football. I think they want to prove something this week. They know that everyone views the Colts as the hot, new, cool, young team in the AFC, and they want to go show them, all right, these old guys can still get it done, and they're going to do it. The Steelers are going to beat the Colts this week. Cinderella story ends this week.
Wow. Find your glass slipper. Return to sender. Griffin's calling it here. Steelers win at home. Again, the Chargers, we mentioned them a few times, or I have, without saying anything else about it. They're sitting at 5-3, and they're still in it, man. Like, some people believe, some people don't. I'm kind of like, the 8-year-old who's starting to ask the real questions around late December. Like, hey, how does he, and why do they, and this doesn't make sense. And those are the questions I'm asking about this Chargers team. And this is a game, Griff, against the Titans. Upset special of the week. The Titans are going to shock the world.
Oh, my goodness.
Titans. Yes. Titans. Tighten up, baby. Tighten up. Tennessee at home. This is a shocking game. People are going to be like, I can't believe it. Well, you should have, because you should have listened to the show. You would have heard it here first. I said it. I'm saying it. I'm going to continue to say it. The Chargers are going to lose this game. I do not believe in the Santa Chargers.
Have you watched Jim Harbaugh football teams before? Like, Jim Harbaugh's football teams don't lose to teams like the Tennessee Titans. Like we've said before, lots of the experts, they say the Titans, this Titans team might be one of the worst football teams in NFL history. A Jim Harbaugh-led football team is not losing to the worst football teams in history. It's not happening. Chargers are going to roll 20.
Chargers by 20, he says. Holy cow. No, yeah, Titans by 2, I think.
Okay.
Titans by 2. Can't believe you're not getting on board, man. Now's your chance. You know, you got to play to win. Let's continue on. This is another lopsided affair. You got the 1-7 Saints. They can't catch a break, man. This poor team. And they're traveling out to LA to play the Rams, who are a lot better than Radio Griff gives them credit for. This is a no-brainer. Don't overthink it. Again, we need to get a shirt trademarked. Don't overthink it. The Rams are winning this game, and they're going to win handily.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the Saints starting a rookie quarterback, right?
Oh, is there trouble in paradise?
They're starting some name I've never even heard of. I didn't even hear of this guy in college. I think it's a made-up player.
It's like a creative player on Madden.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. Tyler something?
I hope they, altered the attributes to make him have good throw power and throw accuracy, because nobody can get it done on this team. I just don't know. Who knows? And for that reason, you'd be a fool. I mean, just put all your money on the Saints or Rams. Don't put any money on the Saints. That's the only part you heard of the show. I'm disavowing that. Turn it off immediately. That's all I heard. I heard him say it.
That's all.
Yeah, for real. Rams roll at home. The 4-3 Jags. This is another one of those teams, Griff. You crowned them too early. And just don't know, man. But they're playing against Geno Smith, and nobody believes in Geno Smith. Is there a shot though? The Raiders win at home.
No, Jaguars will win this game pretty easily. Get back on track here. They'll be fine. Jaguars are gonna be a pesky team all year long.
Now, clearly, I agree with you on that, by the way. Clearly, this next game is the game of the week. The Chiefs and their referee friends take on the Buffalo Bills. And why is this not Sunday Night Football? Why are we stuck with Seattle and Washington? What is going on? Bad move, Goodell.
Yeah. I mean, Washington was supposed to be better. Sophomore slump happening there, maybe. But Chiefs, Bills? Man, I think the Bills. I like the Bills in this game.
There's something about what you said the other week. It's waking me up at night. It's waking me up. And it's haunting me because it's like you asked everybody really, how much more of this do we have to endure? How much more of this do we have to watch? And I think the Chiefs are on the come up. This is going to be a league-controlled game. And what I mean by that, friends, is they will not allow Kansas City to lose this game. They have to keep it even. Because look, if Buffalo loses this game,
could this be like in years past, Buffalo wins in the regular season, but then the Chiefs win in the playoffs? In a way, could this be the passing of the torch? The opposite happens this year. Maybe the Chiefs win in the regular season, but come playoff time, the Bills finally get the monkey off their back and they win it. It's the perfect storyline.
It is. It's like a great movie, right? How the nerd gets beat up at the beginning of the movie and then he starts lifting weights, and by the end he just towers above with power.
Yeah.
Power.
And we all know from what we've seen in the NBA, in other places, sports is rigged anyways, right?
Exactly. And the story's written. Goodell already has the script. It's been leaked. It's all over Facebook. I'm going to take the Chiefs probably in overtime. This is an overtime game. CBS has to keep the TV audience, you know?
And I don't think it's just a coincidence that, say, one of the star Chiefs players is married to the world's biggest pop star and the Bills quarterback is married to a movie star. I mean, they're already in bed with Hollywood here, and we're going to see a Hollywood script play out. But I think the Bills still win.
We'll have to see. Seahawks and Commanders. What do your inside sources tell you on Jaden Daniels and the Commanders? Is he playing this week?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like it. It looks like he's still out.
Yeah.
And Seahawks are good, man.
Seahawks are good. I like the Seahawks in this game.
Yeah, even if Daniels plays, who cares?
The Commanders have taken the step backwards that I thought the Lions were going to take. And I should have known that with their head coach being Dan Quinn. So I like the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'll take the Seahawks on the road. And then Monday Night Football. Again, an atrocious matchup. The Cardinals and the Cowboys, 2-5 at 3-4-1. This, honestly, I don't care. I'll take the Cowboys at home.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think the Cowboys will put up too many points for the Cardinals to keep up with. I like the Cowboys.
In case you're wondering, hey, why didn't you mention the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, the Philadelphia Eagles, or the Tampa Bay Bucks? Well, my friend, they have the week off, much like yourself. Philadelphia, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, and New York/New Jersey. I am taking this is my bye-week vibe shirt. I'm having a luau. No more Negadelphia. No more. I'm back on full-time. I'm all about Jalen Hurts. He's officially an elite quarterback somehow. I don't actually think that. But if you don't think that, apparently you're all the worst names in the book because you're not 100% on board. It's like MAGA, right? If you question one thing the president does, then you have Trump derangement syndrome or whatever the kids call it. TDS. Yeah. So don't you question authority. Don't you dare question authority. You be a good sheep. I love you and you and you and you and you, Radio Griff. Thank you for your time, sir. And you have an awesome day. God bless.
God bless.